So, you might be wondering how I got here. Sorry, I had to do that intro. Anyways, hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can go to their itch.io, where you can get it for free, or you can go to their Patreon, where, if you give them $3 a month, you'll support them and get the most up-to-date version. So, on the last Let's Play, we went to a ceremony where they were, putting stuff down for somebody. The person that was, taken away by a monster and is supposedly dead, to ease their spirit, and, talked with, what's his name about it. And then we heard something weird, and were dragged off into the woods. But we already passed that part, because we were rescued by him, and we're here. I just had to do that intro. Sorry. Anyways. Yeah, we should probably reset my face first. Because it do be like that sometimes. Show me your foot. I pull the sleeve, and he bends down, holding it in one of his paws. Don't touch it. He brushes up against the direction of my fur. Aside from the bruising, most of your skin is red, so no bleeding. Your bones are in place. But you shouldn't walk on this for several days. But I try to stand again and feel the sharp sting in my ankle. I have to. I only have a week to get out of this town. And I don't even want to wait that long. Tessa shakes his head. Foolish. You won't make it far on that leg. Do you have a car that could drive us? I do. Wait, he does? So, what's the problem? Something might be following you. I do find it surprising that he has a car. Like, the only person I've known in this, time period that has a car is that really rich guy. Because everyone has the station wagons, right? Or trains? I shake my head. You can't prove that. It's just got to be some starving animal. I don't even believe it when I say that, but I don't want to think about any other possibility. No animal would be bold enough to come here with all the noise and the smoke. It's something else. And it showed when your party did. I thought your group was attacked before us. Maybe it's hunting you. He mumbles something I don't understand. We know that it will go after us at the very least. Well, I've still got to leave town. He looks out the window, craning his head. It sounded like it was bothering the animals, so it's a problem for the whole settlement now. You should tell your anthropologist friend. Anthro? So he can tell the Christians. If you put together a hunting party, then we can be rid of it before it strikes. You're gonna try and kill it? Ideally. Ideally. If I didn't know that it was like, I don't know what it is. Could be completely supernatural or what, but, guns work well in situations. But we couldn't even see it the last time. And it's fast. None of us are getting very far if the problem isn't dealt with. There's a thump on the door. It's sudden and forceful, like a single knock. But it's not exactly right either. Sela stands and walks up to the door. He says something in his language. There's nobody there. Then he tries again in Albion. Who's there? Is Albion our language? A deep, guttural voice replies. Yiska? We both wait for a reply. There's a soft shove again. Yiska there? What do you mean, Yiska there? Who is this? Another thump. This is Yiska. That sounded more like the bear this time. Are y'all both roommates? Sela looks at me and then holds up a single digit to his mouth. He turns back to the door and makes noises I don't understand. The person on the other side of the door makes those noises back in a deeper voice. And the fox steps away. He walks over slowly to a small window and pulls the curtains over it. A shadow passes, and he walks back slowly. I'm about to ask him what's going on, but he puts a hand over my mouth, giving me a taste of clay and bark. Yeah, Sam, S-T-F-W. Wait, you know what I mean. He leans close into my ear and whispers, "Spirit." That confuses me. It sounded like Yiska. I try to talk again, but he shakes his head. Do not leave tonight. Do not let anybody in until morning. But what if it's someone we know? Especially if it's somebody we know. The light behind the curtain blackens. I hear shuffling sounds. Then something wet. A slow, scraping noise drags across the window. Then the shadow leaves. Again. Nobody. But what about your hunting partner? That wasn't him. He won't be back tonight. You listen for the bugs, and the wind, and the trace of any footsteps. But there's nothing. Get some sleep. I'll know if you try to enter the door. How's that? You make noise when you're in pain. I'll know. I try to sleep in spite of the pain and the anxiety. The bugs chirping outside sound comfortably close, like there ain't much separating us besides the sack of logs and flimsy glass. I try not to listen to anything unless I hear something I shouldn't. I hear soft snores coming from the fox in the chair. I'm impressed they can sleep sitting up, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. He's still holding his gun. I'm surprised he's able to have a gun and a car. I don't know. You wouldn't think they would have such concessions and, being on a reservation. Now that I think about it, I thought they confiscated any weapons at the gate. Glad they didn't, or I'd most likely be dead. I shuffle against the fur blanket on the couch. Whose fur? I guess there are ferals in this universe. And turn my head away from the window, trying to sleep again. I feel heavier. My eyelids droop, and my chest heaves heavier. I sink deeper into the couch, thinking of one of Benton's piano pieces, back at the hip, to drown out the sound of the bugs and taps of wood against the glass. I exhale. I'm awake, and I feel hot, bubbling pain on my leg that fades quickly. When I look down, I see a welt on my foot that might be an insect bite. I'm worried it could be venomous because I didn't see what did it. But it's just itchy for now. I don't hear Silas snoring anymore. I probably woke him when I shook the couch. Looking at the chair, I can see that he's sitting there. Trouble sleeping? I have to wait to let my eyelids adjust to the dark. Yeah. You'd think that eyelids wouldn't have to adjust to the dark if you're in the dark. Right? I know. If you're sleeping and you're in the dark for an hour sleeping, wouldn't your eyes just be acclimated? Losing sleep is a terrible thing. Some people say you can never get it back after you lose it. I think I can barely make out the shape of a snout moving. Bits of your brain just getting strained and scrambled, and you just never get it all back. That's called getting old, dude. You're not really helping me get to sleep. Who says I want to? Maybe I just want to talk right now. I feel like that's surprising, considering you barely want to talk. You're rarely. I hear the chair creak as he adjusts himself in it. I can't see what he's doing, but he's moving around. You're a bit of a pervert, aren't you? Seriously, dude? What? I mean, you've seen plenty of things you're not supposed to see. And put your hands and mouth in all sorts of places. It do be like that sometimes? His tone is stern. And you put your mind and body at the mercy of others, day after day. How's any of that your business? Because I'm all too familiar with that sort of person, Mr. Ayers. He's looking at me, and his eyes are open. But something's wrong. His eyes look like dark glass, but there's nothing much inside them. Nothing much but small lights, shining brightly, burning far, far away. I think for a second that it must be a reflection, but I remember the windows are closed. The longer I look at him, the harder it is to make out anything else than the shine of his teeth and the glint of his eyes. Where am I? Whatever is shining must be coming from inside him. What kind of stupid question is that? This is your house, ain't it? Somehow, I know it's not his house. Because, somehow, I know that whoever I'm talking to ain't Seela. I want to play along without making innocent moves, like it's a dream and I'll wake up soon. But he looks left, then right, then towards me again. I've never been here before. But I followed something, and now I am. Did you follow me? He or it hums softly. Perhaps not. There's already somebody following you. Will he speak? He lets out a one-note laugh. Too shy? Oh well. You though. He nods his snout. I do know you though. I've seen you plenty. Where? He tilts his head. Don't you mean where and when? I don't suppose it matters. It's never fair what happens to us, though, is it? He laughs again. It's something that sounds like choking more than laughter. Oh, so like how my friend laughs? You tell me so every time I meet you. I haven't met you before. Oh, I've met you. Unfair, unfair, unfair. That's your tune every time I met you, isn't it? He takes something out of his pocket. I hear a flicking sound. It's a low light. I can see it swinging. You always have the gall to say it to me, in spite of your wealth of choices, and my lack of them. But you choose so poorly so many times. Who are you? It doesn't matter. Seriously. I'm tired of telling you. Why are you here? What do you want from me? I suppose you're still not very smart yet. I already told you. I'm not here for any reason I can tell you. That would, again, imply I had a choice. I'm just here to ride the wave. He closes his knife and looks at his hands. These look like my hands, but I know that they aren't. I have never seen them before. No, I haven't seen them before. For a moment, he smiles. Maybe things will be different this time. He blinks with both his eyes, and the lights go out. Why are you awake? What? Oh, I just noticed the eyes lost their glint just right. Bam. You should be sleeping. I thought I was. You were sitting up and staring at me in the dark, like I'm a meal. You were talking. You were talking, and you were asleep. I do not talk in my sleep. Iska or Avery would have told me. Hey, I hear a growl in my own voice. I ain't making this shit up. I'm sure you don't think you are. You're injured, and the lack of restful sleep. Close your eyes, and do not speak any more of this until morning, if you want to stay here. I bite my lip. His home, his rules. I'm more than used to that concept. I try and close my eyes a few times, and I feel myself slipping away. There's birds outside. Noisy little fuckers. An exception has occurred! Okay. I'm gonna print this screen and then save something, because that's not supposed to happen, I guess. Also, did I do over something else? Okay, I guess not. I guess we close the game? I mean, I didn't make any choices, so... Boop. I don't know why it does that. I mean, there's nothing particularly, like, bad that's right there, but still. So, let's try that again. Oh, right, I guess turn that back on. You good, buddy? You got this? Well, as I'm working on that, I'll skip this stuff and see if anything happens. Maybe I'm just gonna have to restart the entire game and do that? Well, again, it's the problem of, Discord doing, I mean, not Discord, OBS doing that stuff. So, I guess give me a hot minute, and, I mean, maybe we'll cut it and then, like, recut it. So, let's see, it's like 18 minutes, so, bird. And we're back. Sorry about that. So, I guess there was, like, a thing in version 30 that caused it to not load a background and it crashed. So, yeah, it's a week later, and a new version came out. So we got it. Anyways, noisy little fuckers. Pots and pans clang behind me, and I turn to see Sela mill about in his kitchen. Wait, his kitchen or in his kitchen? Mill about his kitchen. Okay, that's fair. I smell fried eggs and hear him chopping something fast. He cups a handful of tubers? And tosses it into a pan, making them sizzle. What the heck's a tuber? Good, you're awake. He puts a plate on the end of the table near the couch. Eat. The warm scent of wilted greens, fried starch, and fatty fish hits my face. It smells delicious, but I think I might need to go. It's light outside, so it's safe to go. I nod and make the motion to stand. He looks at me with a doubtful face as a sharp feeling stabs through my leg. Shit! Looks to me like you're still not going anywhere. Eat. He knew this was about to happen. I shoot him a dirty look while I shovel a bit of runny egg and squash into my mouth. He finishes his meal very quickly without talking. Then he stands. I'm going to get Avery. I guess if there's anybody who can help me right now, it's him. Don't open the door for anybody, even if it sounds like me. Well, then how are you going to get in? I won't need any help getting back in. Okay. I don't think I could let anybody in, even if I wanted to, unless I slid my way to the door. All I want to do now is focus on finishing my breakfast. That's good, but the pain in my jaw and chest makes it hard to swallow anything at first. It's not long before I hear scratching at the door. I flinch and shoot back when I see the door burst open. But it's just the fox. The elk follows behind him, looking a little more dour than before. Well, if it isn't Mr. Tibbet's bodyguard. I shake my head. Just was for the journey here. I'm off the hook now. I hope he paid for you well at least. Bodyguarding's a frightful business. This isn't the first time I've had to patch you up. I roll my eyes. Sheila gives us both a suspicious look. He doesn't know what Avery's talking about. Now, let's see that leg. I pull my pant leg, my pant leg, and place it on the table. Avery's eyes widen a little. Well, I don't think it's broken, but that's definitely sprained. I have some cloth I can bind it with. Thanks, Doc. I'm sorry to say that I didn't bury a crutch in my bag. He shakes and he laughs at his own joke. Thanks, Doc. Good. A good, sturdy walking stick will do just fine if you don't want somebody in town to whittle you something. If it doesn't look better in a week or two, you might need a closer look. You can probably visit a real professional and get their options or opinions. But I bet they'll just charge you a pretty penny to say, keep it wrapped and don't put pressure on it. Though something like that is mostly common sense. He gets out gauze and a pin from his bag and starts dressing my foot firmly, but not too tight. Sheila retreats into the kitchen, cleaning pots and scraping waste into the fire. I guess that's what you do. He looks and sounds a bit more cheerful than when he first came in. So, what have you been doing around the settlement yesterday? He grunts. Let's not talk about such things in Yiska's house. He stops, and his eyes linger over my chest. Wow. Looks like he had a lot more excitement than me. There's a lot of small cuts I'm seeing, too. And larger bruises. He talks to Sela in the Meseta language. Sela shakes his head before responding with what sounds like only a few words. So, it was only the two of you together last night? Yeah. He doesn't say anything for a while as he keeps dressing my foot. I was supposed to be back in Echo a few days ago. Another delay is going to be bad. But if I can't go out after dark, then there's not much else I can do but wait. In 2 days, I still plan to take the trip to Camp Rosa with Yiska. Are you still willing to take me? Going there shouldn't be a problem with the size of our cart. You'd have to ride. I don't think you could keep up with us on foot. And it won't be comfortable, but it will definitely be possible. Back of the cart it is, then. You just can't come back with us, since our cart won't be empty. Trust me, that ain't a problem. Regardless, it's something to think about for later. As for right now, let's go pick out a walking stick. Sela and Avery talk to each other as Avery rises? Oh. Giving me his arm to help me lean on him and stand. We all exit the cabin, and Sela locks the door behind us. Kind of thinking, I think we have a bit more. This scene will be short. Sela walks off in one direction without another word to me. Sela. Where's he off to so fast? He's mean Yiska, near the apiary? The what? The bee. It's a bee farm. Oh yeah, I remember seeing a picture of that. Honey gets gathered there. I want to express gratitude for what he did for me last night. But what happened after that still unnerves me. Your still friend will be there too. The Reverend is letting them in. How do you know that? I saw him and Yiska coming back from the mesa this morning. While you were doing what? Just looking for the right pile of rocks, based on what the elders who still live here could tell me. The pine needles crunch beneath our feet as I lean on Avery until we find a clearing with lots of fallen branches and dead saplings. There's a sweet smell that lingers in the air, most likely from all the smoke of a small settlement waking up, along with the scent of pine sap. You know, there's not a whole lot of places I can be with guards around. I feel my chest clench a bit. So what? So you were looking for your sister? Where they put her body, at the very least. I can't remember what his backstory was. He picks up a few sticks, swinging them for size, and checking them for rot. Did you find it? I think so, but I can't be sure. The graves are unmarked, and there were certainly some beneath the rocks. I wasn't going to disturb anybody's resting place to confirm if it was hers or not. Again, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting to find her anyway. But it's difficult never getting to know the exact place. He hands me 2 sticks. Lift your leg and test them. The bark is gone, so it's easy enough to hold on to both of them and swing my way through the triangular stance. They're working. They should hold for at least a week if you're careful. Some of the wood is still green. Right. Now that you're mobile again, I figure I'd mention that your travel companions were looking for you yesterday. Were they? Cliff seemed pretty preoccupied, if I remember right. Jeb and the fox expected you back in your room. They looked pretty concerned. I figure it's early enough that they should still be at the inn your still friend checked in at. I thought Jeb was staying with you. For the night, but I need to be alone for a spell. He's much tenser than he was in the woods. I heard about his argument with the stoat, though. The fox managed to smooth things over, but I know his mane's still caught up in a few knots. You should probably tell your traveling companions when you head off by yourself for private business. He looks out into the woods, considering the circumstances. Wouldn't want them getting hurt searching for somebody who might not want to be found. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do. Alright then. I'll check up on your injuries before I leave, but I need to get back to Echo sooner rather than later. Keep your nose clean until then. The madame would be pretty cross with me if she knew I ran into you and came back too beat up, and you came back too beat up. You ain't responsible for me. And I can't let you know that I don't intend to go back to Echo. Don't waste any time looking for me if I can't be found. If we cross paths, and you can help me, that's great and good, but you've already done more than enough. The madame doesn't need to fuss at you on account of my own choices. She's usually understanding. He nods his head. Till next we meet. I nod. In the woods, he whistled while he was walking away. But now, he stays quiet, increases his distance until he disappears between the pine trees. I lift my injured ankle off the ground and put the weight on the walking sticks. I have to hobble a bit before I can get a feel for using them, but I make steady progress toward the direction of the inn. I think with that, yeah, that's pretty much 30 minutes. So it's a good time to call it. So, yeah. Comment, guys, I like comments, do what you like, dislike, tips as always. If you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow. Please remember to stay New Year and must help control the pit population. And if you want to play this game, it's on itch.io for free. But if you want the most up-to-date version, I'm actually going to look that up. Echo Project or just Smoke Room? Yeah, I forgot to look it up. $3 a month. Anyways, oh yeah, and I got a sticker. I got several stickers, but I gave some to my friends, so I get stuck, and I let them choose, so I get stuck with Leo from Echo. Anyways, until next time, let's play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. So thanks and see ya.